Hello, I'm Michael Pick from Robin Goods Media Network. Could I ask your name and your involvement with the European Citizens Initiative?
Hello, my name is Karsten Berg and I'm the General Coordinator of the European Citizens Initiative campaign.
My name is Gabriel Franier. I'm born Swiss, Belgian by adoption, and European by citizenship. Now, my involvement in the European Citizens Initiative is a strong personal support because it corresponds to what I believe.
How would you describe this European Citizens Initiative to someone who has no idea whatsoever what it is?
European Citizens Initiative campaign is an exciting movement of many hundreds and thousands of citizens across the whole continent who have understood it is about democracy now. If we want to change Europe and bring it further and make progress, then we need to talk about democracy and not only talk about it, but really get active and introduce new and modern ways of democracy. And for this, we want to introduce participatory democracy where citizens can influence directly the political life of Europe with the European Citizens Initiative right.
Now, how do you describe a citizens' initiative? I would do it in the following way. My father told me when I was young, take care of politics, if not, politics will take care of you. Now, I think the European Citizens Initiative is a way of caring for European policies instead of developing means for complaining about European policies.
What is participatory democracy? Well, there are in fact two ways in general on how to make democracy work. In our history, in the nation states and on the European level, we so far always had representative indirect democracy, where we vote for our politicians and they represent us in the parliament or in the government. And then there's a new way of making politics. It is participatory participatory democracy, which is not only indirect, but where citizens can influence directly the political life and make proposals by using the citizens' initiative right, or even vote directly on the concrete questions of legislation in a referendum. These two things, initiatives and referendums, these make out participatory democracy.
What I believe of participatory democracy is as needed complement to representative democracy. Parliaments should make law, but citizens should develop European policies, propose their policies and say what they want to. They should care about policies.
Okay, so what do you see as the biggest problems in the existing model of European politics as it stands today?
Well, the biggest problem at the moment in European politics is that citizens don't feel anymore it's their own model of politics. It's not their own political community. European politics are far too remote and aloof, far too distanced from citizens, and they don't believe they could change anything in European life and political life. And this creates a huge gap between citizens and the European institutions who are supposed to govern in the name of the citizens. So the biggest challenge at the moment is to reconnect and create trust within citizens, not by simply advertising Europe in the traditional way, but by creating new tools where citizens can change Europe and make a difference. This is the biggest challenge at the moment in Europe.
So I think the fact that the top decisions are taken by people who are not elected for it. The chief of governments and head of states are elected to take care of their states, not about Europe. Therefore, I think we should abolish or restrict the power of the European Council, because without that, there is no freedom, there is no democracy, because they do not report to anyone. And they forbid the European citizens to take care of what's going on outside of the borders of their nationality. Or since the Treaty of Maastricht, we are European citizens. That's what I am, and I want to participate in that.
Tell me a little bit about the right of initiative. What effect would that have on the way that we live?
The right of initiative would give citizens, for the first time in history, to really influence political life by collecting 1 million signatures. Citizens can call on the European institutions, the Commission, to make a change in European law. And this is something where you actually would bridge the huge gap between citizens and institutions. Citizens would not be any more passive consumers, but they would be actually producers of a democratic life. We would create our political life and would much more identify with it. We would be more informed, the quality of debate and information would be much higher.
If citizens can say, express, make known what they want, the legislators won't be able to avoid it. Because most of the legislators are elected on promises. And after that they do what they can without caring about what citizens say, because they say they have elected us, therefore we don't have to go back to them. With an initiative, we say what we want. We should take these measures and express our views so that the legislature will take care of what we think and not only care what the industrialists of the financial powers are telling them.
Do you think it's possible to unite people Europe-wide towards a single common end, such as the European initiative?
Yes, I strongly believe it is possible that European citizens get together, face a problem and try to solve it together. Just as you get together on the local level or on the national level, there are certain problems which you can solve only on the local level. And there are also problems which you can only solve on the European level. Environmental questions, they have climate change. This has a global dimension, as well as terroristic questions, terror attacks. There are other questions, social issues. For this, we need to get together as European citizens, and then we communicate cross-border, exchange perspectives, and really try to solve problems together. And this, of course, has a uniting effect.
Is it possible to unite people around Europe? I said, of course, if not, I wouldn't be here.
What does the ECI need to be a success, and how are we going to actually measure that success?
Well, first of all, it needs people, citizens who say, I want to take it into my own hands. It is possible to get together. It's important to understand the message and to explain it to others. Then secondly, of course, it's important to collect signatures while talking to others. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your grandmother or your sister, and make it as an easy message to say we need more democracy in Europe now and we want to involve everybody.
What does the EEC need to be a success? To be known and well explained. Because many people, individuals, will doubt about the possibility of expressing their views. But if you succeed with one example, and that's what we're up to now, then they will know it's possible. And let's do it. And with the means we have these days, it's a possibility of doing that. And that's what I expect from ECI. That the first million will be gathered, and there may be many others. Because when the movement will be taken, we can reach that goal.
Okay, so what's next? What can we expect from the ECI in the coming months?
Well, in the coming months, it's important to keep the flow really flowing and to keep the roll rolling. And for this, we have prepared already a couple of conferences. We will prepare further. So if you have an idea to make a conference, come us and talk to us. We will come up with more precise proposals how the ECI should look then. There is an important question for the implementation law of the European Citizens Initiative. There we give 20 key recommendations. That means it's important to think about from how many member states future European Citizens Initiative need to come from, which issues are possible to make use of for an ECI, what is the role of the institutions, for example, the representations of the Commission and the Parliament in the different member states, in London, in Rome, in Berlin, in all the different European cities, what is their concrete role? And for this you need key recommendations, and we are going to prepare them as well. And at the same time keep the ball rolling and talk to many people about it and collect signatures further.
Okay. So how could I get involved? Let's say I was interested in getting involved. What can I do as an individual to contribute to the initiative?
Well, it's very easy to get involved. Just have a look on the website www.citizensinitiative.eu. There you will find contact persons for your country. There are most probably organizations in your country as well, because we have in almost all EU member states supporting ECI organizations or organizations who support ECI. And then if this would not work, always feel free to connect or to call the ECI coordination team, which is here situated in Brussels.
What we can do to involve is, if anyone signing says, I promise 10 friends or 20 friends to sign with me, the movement will be big enough so that we'll reach our goal. And I think the democracy of Europe, in Europe, is at stake in that case, and we should work for it. Thank you.